All right, well, it's live now. There we go. You ready? I'm going to let you guys rock it out. Nice. Okay, this is a call and response. I know some of you know this. Very simple. Just repeat after us. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing.
This healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. All right, what are you thankful for today? Anything. This moment. All right. Thank you for this moment, Spirit. Thank you for this moment.
Thank you for this moment, Spirit. Thank you for this moment.
This perfect, this perfect, this perfect moment.
This perfect, this perfect, this perfect moment.
All right, what else are you thankful for today? Peace, yes. Thank you for this peace, Peter. Thank you for this peace.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
This abiding, abiding, abiding peace.
Abiding, abiding, abiding peace.
What are you thankful for?
Music.
Music. Thank you for this music, Spirit. Thank you for this music.
Thank you for this music, Spirit. Thank you for this music. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful music.
This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful music. What else? One more thing. Courage. Thank you for this courage, Spirit. Thank you for this courage.
Thank you for this courage, Spirit. Thank you for this courage.
This loving, this loving, this loving courage.
This loving, this loving, this loving courage.
I said thank you,
Thank you,
thank you,
thank you,
thank you,
thank you,
thank you.
thank you.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. It's with our gathering here at the dedicated gluten-free bakery and coffee shop. So grateful to them for being our hosts this month as we look for a home to meet in on a regular basis. And we will be here next week just to give everybody the heads up. And then after that, I'm not sure yet, but keep an eye out on all of our announcements, our website, Facebook, if you're involved with that as well, and we will let you know for sure. We come together as a spiritual community to celebrate what's good in the world. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to celebrate a couple of things. Love. I'm here to celebrate the memory of who I am, like remembering who I am, that I am, and we are, each and every one of us, a perfect individualized expression of an infinite power. And when we truly know this, when we truly live this, we get to create change in our lives. And we understand more and more the nature of it all. So let's celebrate that today. What do you say? Our vision here for Tucson New Thought is to create a world that works for everyone. And we do this through our mission of providing practical tools for spiritual transformation and personal transformation. And when we do this, we awaken humanity, all of humanity, to its spiritual magnificence. You know, one of the things that strikes me around that idea is that awakening all of humanity to its spiritual magnificence is an inside job for each and every one of us. And to the degree that we emulate that paradigm, to the degree that we maintain that mentality and that thought, we become way showers for the rest of the world. And that's how we awaken people. Because we are awakened, yes? Are you awakened? Are you awake? We value community, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to join us here in community here today. Diversity and creativity. Creativity is so important. So, I like to begin each week with some centering, so I'm going to invite us all to simply relax right where we are. If it's comfortable and you want to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so. Nadia's going to noodle on the guitar a little bit. As we relax and allow ourselves to fall into a focus on our breath. Simply allowing whatever distractions are around us to be there. We don't need to change them. We can simply just allow them to be. But we are the point at which our centered relaxation unfolds. As we continue to focus on the breath, settling in and realizing and understanding that there's nothing we need to do to make it happen. It just is. Anything that has preceded this moment, we can let go. Anything we anticipate is to come, we can let go. And just be fully present in the here and now. Again, bringing our focus to the breath. With each exhale, the body becomes more relaxed. Simply inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. A gentle flow in and out. Coming into that realization that whatever it is we are seeking has been seeking us and causing us to seek. And so we allow it. Imagining with each breath that we are breathing love. Breathing in love. Breathing out love. And in doing so, recognizing that this entire room is filled with love. I am opening. Thank you. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. Now gently affirm within, using your inner voice, repeating after me. I am here. I am fully present. I am open to a positive, inspiring experience for myself and this entire group. And with an easy final breath, whenever you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. I want to say welcome to everyone who's watching us online as well, recognizing that they are part of this community, having this exact experience in their own unique way, maybe sitting in their beds. I don't know. I don't judge. That's where they might be. But it's grateful. I'm grateful to have you all here. To honor the world's faith traditions, we do a ceremony called Lighting the Flames of Faith. I'm going to invite Olivia to help me with this. This is a ceremony to honor all religious paths and faith traditions. And with each candle we light, we recognize that all people and all faiths are all connected by one thing. And ultimately, that's love. We're all connected in this spirit of love. And it comes forth with an infinite energy. So, we light a candle first for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And the will of God is love. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the final candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. This candle also represents the healing of any circumstances that require divinity to be revealed. Just breathing into that. Thank you, Olivia. Music for me is a very important part of celebrating spirit. And I am so grateful to these two beautiful women for coming into my life and honoring us with their musical talents. And they're here to sing a special song. Did you both write this? It's Olivia. So on your program it says that they both wrote this, and I actually questioned that this morning. But this song was written by Olivia. So Olivia, Avanzato, Nadia, Stefanik, collectively known as ViaDia.
What do I do when it feels like life has ripped something out of my hands? What do I do when things fall apart or don't go as planned? I focus on me and what I love, how I'll serve, and spreading joy to the world. This is my time, not holding on to what's been done. I surrender.
ViaDia. Oh, I am guided by the light. There is a blessing and a curse in New Thought. There is a blessing and a curse in New Thought. We teach very specifically, and this is in the religious science branch of New Thought, which is my tradition, we teach that we have control of conditions. We teach that we have control of the conditions in our life, right? Ernest Holmes wrote, we believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. He wrote that in 1927 in what has become known as our Declaration of Principles. There are about 14 other things that he indicated we believe. I leave it to you to determine what you believe. We don't have to agree with any of it, because I'm not here, as I always say, to teach anyone what to think or to tell anyone what to think. You're here to determine what you think. And when we get in touch with what we think, then we get to be able to begin to make change in our lives. What New Thought stands for is a mode of thinking, a how of thinking. And when our thoughts are rooted in love and forgiveness and the understanding of our inherent nature as a divine energy, that's the how, then what we think creates magnificence in our lives. So I encourage you to start to understand that more deeply. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, there's always room to go more deeply into that understanding. Now, this idea that we are able to control conditions through the use of mind is a blessing and a curse. Here's the blessing. The blessing is this: we can create whatever life we want using the power of mind. Do you believe this? Yes? Is there anyone who has any doubt around this? And it's okay, you don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to.
In one area.
In one area. Oh, okay. I'm not going to ask you what that area is, but maybe we'll touch on that.
Well,
go ahead.
The thing is, I believe that, I know that. To me, it's a distinction.
Okay. Belief, the difference between belief and knowing.
Belief is, I believe it, but it may not be true. It's just something I believe. Somebody else may believe something different.
Okay.
When I know this, there's no doubt about it. This is what is.
Great.
That's my interpretation.
And the great way shower, often referred to and called out by name, his name is Jesus, was a great way shower, said, "It is done unto you as you believe." And so the belief embodied, whatever your belief is, and I'm not here to say you have to believe anything, whatever your belief is the way that your life unfolds. And so whatever your belief is what you know. And it may be different from somebody else. So the blessing is that we can create whatever we want through the power of mind. And we are. All the time, no matter what. We are always creating from the point of view of what we know. It gives us power in our lives. One of the fundamental, as Thomas Troward, who was a New Thought leader and a great influence on Ernest Holmes, Thomas Troward basically identified seven aspects of this divine power: love, light, life, peace, beauty, joy, and power. So power is something that we all have because we're all part of this infinite whole. So we have power in our lives. We are not subject to some judgmental supreme being outside of ourselves. And yet many of us may have been raised with this idea. You know? I was not brought up in a religion in particular, but that concept was all around me. That we were somehow being looked at and judged by something outside of ourselves. And I don't believe that anymore. New Thought teaches to let that idea go. To let go of the idea that we are being judged by anything outside of ourselves. The greatest judge we have in our lives is ourselves. The way we use our mind can lead to great judgment. So I'm going to invite us all to release any judgment that we have around ourselves. Release it, sweep it into the history of those things that we once thought were and are no longer. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this universal infinite creative mind. We're all a part of it. So if the blessing is that we can create whatever we want, well, what is the curse? The curse is this. The curse comes when we begin to misrepresent this idea as the supremacy of the human mind, believing it somehow to be separate from this universal mind. And boy, do we get ourselves into a heap of trouble when we do that. So basically what I'm saying is that if we are all connected as one infinite power, and that is what we call universal mind, or love, then there is no separation. Our mind, our thoughts, are the mind of this infinite mind, are the thoughts are the thoughts of this infinite mind. Believing it somehow to be separate leads us down the path to engaging in willpower, thinking we can coerce this beautiful law of cause and effect into doing something for us, which, by the way, we can do. But the degree to which we have any physical angst involved with that, as soon as we let that go, whatever it is we've created is going to dissipate. It's going to dissipate. We don't need to coerce anything at all to live the magnificent life we all have imagined. This means a lot of letting go. It means a lot of shedding. It means a lot of surrendering. You know, when we do the lighting of the flames of faith, one of the faith traditions, Islam, we talk about the will of God, the will of the divine. And I like to say that the will of the divine is love. That's the will of the divine. It is nothing else. And when we come into alignment with that, then we can let go of our human willpower to try to control things and just fall back into love. Letting go of any fixed idea about the way things are or should be, or how people are supposed to behave, is one of the initial steps we have to infinite freedom. Letting go of fixed ideas about the way things are, what we think, the way we think they should be, or how people are supposed to behave. That's a big one. When we can let go of our fixed ideas of how people should behave, that is an initial step to infinite freedom. We are constantly bombarded by the media into a belief that we can influence others to make them love us. We can influence others by wearing the right clothing. We can influence others by looking a certain way. We can influence others by spending the right amount of money. All of these things are misinterpretations. But the media upholds these ideas as ways that we can make people love us. They're all cosmetic. They're all surface. And ultimately, they do not have any power to create lasting change in our lives. At all. Let's let go of that notion. The only thing we need to do to ensure love is received is to give love. To be love. In and of ourselves. If we want love, we must be love. If we want joy, we must be joy. If we want an extraordinary life, we must be that extraordinary life. So what do? Let go of any erroneous ideas. Let go. Shed them. The art of letting go is surrendering to the inherent truth of our being, which is love. I'm going to keep coming back to it. I'm going to drill this. Love, love, love. Love is all there is. In the lyric of the song, Olivia sang, I focus on me and what I love, how I will serve, and spreading joy to the world. I focus on me and what I love, how I'll serve, and spreading joy to the world. let us more deeply focus on those things that we love. And that needs to start with ourselves. Self-love. Because when we learn to love ourselves, then we open ourselves to the capacity to love others and love this world. But we have to start with self-love. When we are in that place of love, our natural state is to want to serve, to give of ourselves. And that is a magnificent expression of love, to be able to give. And through doing this, we can't help but spread joy to the world. So how do we really do this? I have 3 steps. As soon as the espresso machine comes down a little bit, it's all good. There are 3 steps to do this. Timed that well, didn't I? Commit, practice, and master. Commit, practice, and master. So, to commit. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this: when we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. When we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. This is so true. How many of you have ever found that when you have made a decision that is rooted deeply in your heart, everything aligns? Right? It all shows up, and everything shows up perfectly in alignment with that vision and with that decision that you've made. If it's not rooted in the heart, we may try to coerce it. See, I'm going back to that. We may try to coerce it to make something happen. We have to let go of that coercion. Trust what is in our heart and allow the flow of the universe to unfold. That's commitment. The practice, ultimately, is spiritual practice. And there are 3 practices that I think fully support the art of letting go. Meditation and centering. Meditation and centering are magnificent ways of just letting go of everything that we think, everything we think should be, everything, just allowing ourselves to be fully in the here and now. Rooted firmly in love. Spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer is another practice. That is a structured use of mind to a specific end. And we teach a particular form of prayer within this philosophy that is intended to set into motion the law of cause and effect. But here's the deal. That's technique. Whatever works is what will work for you. Whatever works in mind is what will work for you. You don't need to know the 5 or 7 steps of treatment the way we teach them in this philosophy to really give into affirmative prayer and know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and affirm that out loud is a path to changing our lives. And then the other practice is gratitude. Living a life filled with gratitude. Allowing gratitude to fully form and be the point of view from which everything unfolds. Sometimes it's hard to be grateful. I get it. Sometimes. But when we can live in gratitude for all that is, that we have a space to meet in, when we live in gratitude, it really does make magnificent change in our lives. So meditation, affirmative prayer, gratitude, these are 3 practices that support this art of letting go. So if we are committing and practicing, eventually we will master the art. What I mean by that is, the work we do in our own minds is work until it's not work any longer. Are you committed and willing to do the work? That's the big question. Are you willing to do what it takes to transform your own mind to create the life you've always imagined? Consider that. mastery of a technique is finding what works for you and allowing it to be so fully embodied that our lives can and will change. We can absolutely change the conditions of our lives. This week, what I'm going to encourage you to do is allow yourself a luxury. The luxury is this. Commit to the practice of what's in your heart. One thing that may come up for you, you may be met with resistance. Sometimes when we're changing something, we're met with resistance. The resistance will pass if we've made the commitment in our heart. My friend, Reverend Donna Michael, said this many, many years ago, and I carry this with me as not a mantra, but a reminder. She said this: I've often seen that when one is ready and poised to move past something once and for all, it fights like hell to stay in your life and keep its power over you. It's the last gasp of a dying fear. I've often seen that when one is ready and poised to move past something once and for all, it fights like hell to stay in your life and keep its power over you. It's the last gasp of a dying fear. This entire month is about freedom. That's the theme of the month. If we're ready to move into a place of infinite freedom, we must be willing to let it go. Let it go. Surrender to the freedom that is inherent in our hearts. We may, during this week of practice, experience these last gasps frequently. As we move gracefully through them, and you're in charge of how gracefully you move through them, we master this practice and we are made free. Let us be guided through this. Make a commitment right here in your heart to be guided through this change by love only. And whenever we forget, what we can fall back into is understanding that love is at the center of it all. Love is at the center of our beingness. Love is at the center of our hearts. And we can move forth from that point of view. Let us be guided through this change, allowing ourselves to be guided by the light. A light that's in your heart. Let us commit to active participation in our personal evolution through constructive rather than destructive thinking. There is nothing to remove. We don't need to destroy anything. Our only job is to live in creation. There's only that which is to be created. We don't need to destroy anything. So we commit an active participation to our own personal evolution through constructive thinking. That's the art of letting go. And that's my message for today. Namaste. Breathe. I'm letting go. I'm going to invite you. We are a community that is supported through your generosity. Money is love in action. And it takes money to put love into action. That's the nature of our beingness here in this physical existence. Money is a physical representation of infinite abundance. And so I want to, we're not going to pass the basket. We don't do that in this space. But whatever it is that you have to offer, bless it, honor it, and if you would like to put it in the basket when we are complete here today, know that it is accepted with love, with grace, and it is used to its highest benefit for the good of the growth of this community. I'm so grateful to you and for all the blessings that you share. And so I know that these gifts are rooted in divine love, and I am so grateful, and I accept them freely and with deep gratitude in my heart. I want to let you know that we are here next week in Dedicated. Again, thank you to Dedicated and all the beautiful people that have allowed us to be in this space. We are looking for a permanent or semi-permanent home. And we have some leads, and I'm not sure exactly how those are going to pan out yet, but I'm looking forward to, following up on them. Keep an eye out on our website, as I said before, or on Facebook, or sign up for our email list. If you go to the website, you can sign up for our email list, and you get the multiple emails we send out a week that have little bits of inspiration. We send out videos and information about what's happening here as Tucson New Thought develops and grows. I want to say thank you to Nadia and Olivia for our musical service today. Yes. We're looking to grow the music as well. We're going to look for a bass player. Yes. Maybe a keyboardist. Yeah, we want to grow into a full band. I'm going to invite us all to take a breath as we close our time out here today. Relaxing. Is that close enough? To the deepest understanding of love. Breathing the love in and out. And simply allow. Surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain. All the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the tears, all the blame, feelings of being outside. Surrender, let it go. So relaxing into this moment and allowing ourselves to be fully present. I recognize and know that there's an infinite creative power. There's only one thing going on. This infinite creative loving resource from which all creation has sprung forth. Everything that exists is a part of this infinite wholeness. This includes each and every one of us. We are the very life living itself. We are this infinite power. We are goodness. We are light. We are life. We are peace. We are joy. We are beauty. There is absolutely no separation. And right here and right now, I know that we fall back into a surrendering to this infinite principle, this infinite loving source, knowing that we are cradled by it, supported by it, and always, always moving forth in love and light. I know that we have an opportunity here to live more abundantly and more prosperously, more generously, by giving into the infinite freedom that is inherent in our hearts as aspects of this infinite divine presence. And so, with a grateful heart, I simply release, let go, and allow. Knowing that my word spoken is law, I allow it to unfold gracefully, easily and effortlessly, as together we say, and so it is. Don't you know God is here? Don't you know love is here? Don't you know light is here? Don't you know peace is here? Surrender. Let it go. Let it all go. Surrender the doubts and the fears. Let it go. Beautiful energy we have here. Thank you all for being here today. Should we reprise that first song and just lift up the spirit as we finish the day? I'm going to let you lead all of it. Do you remember what you wrote this morning?
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health.
My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank you,
thank you,
thank you.
thank you. All right. Thank you. Olivia, thank you very much. Peace out.
I was like,